Pick up your phone and look at the screen. You believe you are holding a tool, a harmless window to connect with friends, check the news, and navigate the modern world. You believe that when you unlock your device and open an app, you are exercising your own free will. But if you step inside the ultra-secretive behavioral design labs of Silicon Valley, you will find a dark blueprint that shatters this illusion. Your smartphone is not a tool, it is a slot machine. And your attention is the infinite oil that pumps billions of dollars into the corporate vaults of big tech. Welcome to the business blueprint of the dopamine casino. The trillion-dollar tech empires realized a terrifying structural truth. In a digital economy, the only finite resource left on Earth is human attention. To capture and monetize every single second of your awake life, they didn't hire traditional engineers. They hired advanced behavioral psychologists and casino design experts. They reverse-engineered the human brain's evolutionary reward pathway, specifically the dopamine molecule. Every mechanism you interact with on social media was deliberately stolen from Las Vegas gambling floors. The pull to refresh gesture is the exact physical motion of pulling a slot machine lever. The variable reward algorithm ensures you never know if the next scroll will bring a worthless post or a viral hit, triggering a state of perpetual psychological craving. You are not the customer. You are the product, being packaged, measured, and sold to the highest bidder in real time. In the early days of the internet, the digital world had natural boundaries. If you wanted to read a forum, a news site, or a social feed, you had to actively click a button to load the next page. This simple action created what behavioral psychologists call a stopping cue, a psychological pause that forced your conscious mind to ask, "Do I really want to keep reading?" But in 2006, an engineer named Aza Raskin designed a line of code that deleted this boundary forever. He invented the infinite scroll. It was the corporate holy grail of attention retention. By automatically loading content right before your eyes reach the bottom of the screen, big tech successfully bypassed the human brain's natural braking mechanism. They turned the internet into a psychological illusion known as the strawberry trap, the concept of an unfillable bowl that continuously refills itself from a hidden reservoir underneath as you eat. You are no longer navigating an interface, you are falling down a frictionless, multi-billion-dollar gravity well. Your brain loses all sense of time because the physical cues of completion have been artificially erased. The algorithm tracks your biological pause times down to the millisecond, calculating exactly when your attention begins to fade, and immediately drops a high-stimulus viral piece of content right into your feed to shock your neural receptors back into submission, locking you into an endless loop of unfulfilled curiosity. Every time your phone buzzes, chirps, or lights up with a red badge, your brain undergoes a subconscious evaluation. You think you are receiving information. In reality, you are playing a game of psychological roulette. This is the business blueprint of variable rewards, a behavioral conditioning technique designed to exploit human vulnerability. The tech empires realized that if a notification was predictable, if it always meant the same thing, your brain would quickly adapt and ignore it. To keep you hooked, they had to introduce the element of chance. They transformed your notification center into a literal slot machine. When you pull that screen down or click that flashing icon, you do not know what is waiting for you. It could be a useless spam email, or it could be a viral comment, a match, or a social validation that floods your synapses with dopamine. It is the uncertainty that creates the addiction. Algorithms are engineered to artificially hold back your likes and engagement, releasing them in sudden, calculated bursts right when the data suggests you are about to close the app. They manipulate your social status, your fear of missing out, and your primal need for belonging, weaponizing human emotion to ensure that every time you try to leave the casino, a red dot pulls you right back to the table. Once the tech cartels mastered the dopamine loops of infinite scrolling and variable notifications, they faced an even darker optimization problem: How do you keep a user engaged not just for minutes, but for hours, days, and years? Through ruthless data analysis, their machine learning systems stumbled upon a sinister flaw in human biology. Nothing triggers engagement faster than outrage. Calm, nuanced, and rational content causes your brain to relax and close the app. But conflict, tribalism, and anger spike your heart rate and lock your eyes to the screen. This was the birth of the radicalization engine. The algorithms were systematically programmed to feed you a hyper-customized distortion of reality. They built an invisible wall around your digital existence, constructing an absolute echo chamber. By isolating you from opposing viewpoints and constantly amplifying the most extreme versions of what you already believe, the system manipulates your primal tribal instincts. They are purposefully fracturing human society, pitting neighbor against neighbor, and turning political and social discourse into an algorithmic gladiatorial arena. They do not care if society burns, they only care that you stay awake to watch the flames, because every second you spend defending your echo chamber is another ad impression sold to the highest bidder. When a system is engineered to harvest your attention, weaponize your emotions, and fracture your reality for a handful of corporate ad dollars, quiet compliance is no longer an option. It is an act of neurological surrender. But inside this multi-billion-dollar casino, a silent rebellion is growing. This is the ultimate resistance blueprint, the sovereign mind. Humans are beginning to realize that the most valuable currency in the 21st century is not Bitcoin, gold, or oil. It is your uncompromised focus. Across the globe, a new class of digital minimalist is emerging. They are turning off the variable rewards, deleting the infinite feeds, and aggressively reclaiming the root directories of their own minds. The corporate spell is breaking. The battle lines of the human experience are no longer fought on physical battlefields. They are fought on the interface of your lock screen. Every time you choose to look away from the red badge, every time you choose deep focus over the quick dopaminergic scroll, you are actively draining power from the algorithmic matrix. The master class of deception has been completely unmasked. The slots are rigged, the infinite bowl is empty, and the house only wins if you keep playing. The blueprint is in your hands. Turn off the machine. Reclaim your focus. Own your mind. The choice is yours.